As stated by Albert Hubbard, one machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men, but 50 machines cannot do the work of one extraordinary man. This could happen to be true when three men, Dr. Robert Moyer, Donald Keck, and Peter Schultz, in 1970, created a fiber that lost information less than 20 decibels per kilometer by using the purest glass ever made. This led to globalization in the world of fiber optics. Above all of this, let us first discuss what fiber optic means. Fiber optics is a special type of technology that allows an electronic device to send information thousands of kilometers without any interferences and uses light to carry information instead of electrical signals, but converts electricity into light energy. The light is internally reflected in glass cable since the critical angle becomes smaller than the angle of incidence, causing the information to transfer in the form of light. The first ever fiber optic technological device was made by the famous Canadian Alexander Graham Bell in 1880 when he developed an optical telephone called a photophone, which allowed for transmission of information on the beam of light. In 1970, the biggest challenge for the scientists was to create a cable that allowed information to be transmitted without the loss of even 20 decibels of information per second, which came true when Dr. Moyer, Dr. Donald Keck, and Peter Schultz worked together in order to make the fiber optics cable using the purest glass that was able to reflect 100% light internally. You may be wondering that how are these cables made and how do they reflect light internally? These cables consist of three layers. The first and the second layer, called the core and the catenary, are made up of a pure silica glass, which has a high refractive index and a low refractive index, respectively. This causes the light to bend away from the normal. If the angle of medium 1 is greater than the critical angle, the sine of n1 over n2, total internal reflection of light would occur. The following chemical reaction tells us how the pure silica glass is made. SiCl4 plus O2 gives you SiO2 plus chlorine. The outer part is covered with a layer of polyvinyl chloride so that the inner part is protected and the layer is resistant to water, flames, acids, alkalines, etc. What are the advantages of using fiber optic cables at home against the usage of UTP copper wires? One of them includes the economic benefit of costs. The buying and maintenance costs for the fiber optic cables that tells us the total revenue for the UTP copper wires are below 20,000 and fiber optic cables wires are $4,500. Only 22.5% of copper wires cost.
Moreover, fiber optic cables are dielectric and do not produce as much heat as copper cables when an electrical fire occurs. Also, fiber optic cables are immune to many environmental factors, such as insulation against current. Since it contains glass, which is an insulator, it is also immune to electromagnetic interferences, the result of radio frequencies. This causes it to become efficient and environmentally friendly. Today, fiber optic cables are used by us in everyday life. It is used in our computers, our televisions, our phones, and many more things. They are also used in the medical field for endoscopes. They are used by the government for wiring in aircraft, submarines, and etc., and for hydrophones as well.
Just say thank you for watching our presentation.
Created using Powtoon.